Yeah, well, good to see you, man. Anyway, let's
And you? Hang on, let me start the recording.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about the home for the LDLY.
Yeah, I started it during the pandemic. Um, I've been a lasers collector since 2009, and one thing I found in Australia, especially, is it's really hard to find discs. So I decided to start a little shop, and I thought, what I'll do is I find bundles a lot, so I'll buy the bundles, and I invested about 3 or 4 grand into the shop to start off with. And yeah, as you can see, it's starting to look like the Criterion Closet, as I say. There's a lot of product in here now.
And do you find there's a market for it?
Depends on the week and the titles that are available each week. I only every Friday at 3 p.m. Perth time, and which is 6 p.m. during daylight savings in over east. I drop 30 titles. Sometimes a lot of them are like sought after titles, and sometimes a lot of them are just like filler, I guess you could call it, right?
You got the home video shirt on there.
Oh yes, the home video shirt. I'm a big fan of the show.
Look, if you were anything like James, you would have a bigger collection than this, mate.
Well, at least I have a real store, don't I? This is my store.
Yeah, I
Such a good
think
show.
you were one of our first commenters on the channel.
Oh well, there you go. That's nice to know. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been with us from the start, yeah.
Yeah, and I've also donated some money and bought the T-shirt and my kind of entertainment.
So what are some of your I've got some favourite titles here. Some of my favourite titles. I thought I'd just quickly show, but maybe show us some of yours first.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I'll start off with my new pickups. Like we always have every now and then we found stuff that we like. This is Soylent Green with Charlton Heston.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
I've watched it before. It's a great film. It's quite amazing how accurate it is. I mean, not to be too depressing, but we're not eating humans yet. But there's a lot of things that are related in the future that have actually come pretty true, Another one that I picked up recently is called Gangadin, which is Cary Grant and Douglas Fairbanks Jr.
Take your hands off that man.
Tommy, darling, I got your back again.
I am a soldier too, please.
Although it's a little tiny bit racist, it's still a great quality film and a superb pressing. Really nice gatefold pressing and stuff like that.
Kill!
But the one of the things I love the most about LaserDisc is finding laser dupe discs. These are 8-inch discs that come out on that came out once a month in Australia, and pubs and clubs and pool halls and bowling alleys would have to send back one of the discs so they can get the latest hits that were around. And if you dig up enough, you can find a lot of these. They're not easy to find though. They do take a lot of hunting.
So that's like the 45s of the LaserDiscs.
Yeah, there's 5 songs on each side of every disc. But what really got me into LaserDisc was I was a massive Sega fan, as you can tell by my name. And I decided to try to get a Laser Active, which is a Sega console that could play what they call Mega LDs.
Okay.
And I wanted one of those really badly, so I went hunting for one, and I didn't find one, but I ended up finding a regular LaserDisc player and getting completely hooked on the movie side of it all.
So I was late to the game with LaserDiscs. I was about 15, 16 before I actually knew what a LaserDisc was. I was at a friend's house, and they were quite rich, and they had this huge big projector screen, and they had a LaserDisc player there. And when I went to put a VHS on, I saw these LaserDiscs, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And the thing that was really good actually was the sound. They had a big like sound system, and
Mhm.
the sound on the LaserDisc I thought was like, you know, crystal clear quality.
If the music don't sound good, who cares what the picture looks like? Then Pioneer gives me their LaserDisc player. It's a video turntable that works with a laser beam, and that laser beam makes all the difference.
You know, that's one thing I really like about LaserDisc is that the sound quality is quite good. You know,
It's amazing, isn't it? It's one of the true theatre sounding home video physical discs you can get.
The Pioneer LaserDisc brand video disc player. Video for those who really care about audio.
With DVDs and sometimes Blu-rays and stuff like that, it's often compressed audio.
yeah.
Whereas this, you know, this kind of stuff is true CD quality sound. Some great movies too. That's what I love finding about it is, you know, because the movies are relatively cheap and stuff like that, it gives you freedom to explore more. Instead of, you know, with 4K movies, they're like $50 each. You can pick up some of these LaserDiscs for as little as $5 each. And it helps you really dig into, you know, movies that you never would have usually watched. Besides Criterion discs, I'm also a big fan of Signature Collection discs.
Oh yeah.
There's Blues Brothers one. Got some Scarface. Nice, yeah. And I'm a big fan of Hitchcock films. So you got, you know, like Vertigo, and of course,
Some of the ones LaserDiscs I've got here, I've got The Crow. I'm just holding them up here. Brandon Lee. So there's another one here. This is one I bought from you, actually, one from the heart.
oh right, yes, that's Coppola, right?
Yeah. Tales from the Crypt. Volume.
Oh, isn't that a TV show?
Yeah, volumes 1 and 2. Akira.
Oh yes, Akira is an essential one to have on LaserDisc.
What kind of clientele do you find yourself kind of mixing with?
Most people are, you know, people I'm mailed to from who, you know, live all around Australia, you know, rather than just people who come into the shop. But occasionally we have some interesting people come into the shop.
Yeah.
Like just a couple weeks ago, we had this guy, and I'm sure he was a lawyer, but you can't quote me on that. But he was wearing a beautiful suit and had a very expensive car.
A tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god. It even has a watermark.
And he came over to pick up discs from his $1 purchase sale. You know, I have these sales every now and then, and along the bottom of my shop here, I've got what they call the bargain basement, and usually the discs are $5 each or two for $5, depending on if you activate the code or not. Yeah, so I did a special where I wanted to thin out the bargain basement a bit because it was getting a bit cluttered. So I did a $1 per disc special. And this guy comes in and he bought 31 $1 discs. And he was in this suit with a beautiful car and he's walking out with these $1 discs. And I'm like, okay, well, enjoy the bodyguard, mate, you know. But yeah, no, I like collecting some horror discs every now and then too for LaserDisc. You know, one of my favorite, you know, you got Criterion, you got Signature discs and stuff like that. There was a company that was around that was sort of like, you know, Vinegar Syndrome discs and stuff like that. They usually pull out movies that are, you know, close to rotting, basically, and find new audiences with nice, revived, clean pressings, you know. And the company that used to do it on LaserDisc was called Elite. You can see the little logo down there, and they did some amazing titles. There's Nightmare on Elm Street, which has gorgeous. The covers are great, you know. They did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Do you think LaserDiscs will? I mean, of course they're not going to come back. Just like you know.
Oh no,
like
we're
VHS
done
mode.
with. Yeah, look, media as far as you know, physical media goes nowadays. 4K discs are fantastic, with like 10-bit color depth, you know, and HDR and Dolby Vision. I mean, the first time I watched a 4K movie was Aladdin, and my jaw just dropped like the genie, you know. And it was it is so beautiful. It is the level of technology development we've gone, you know. Sadly, a lot of people are just content with streaming, which I get, you know, because it is nice and convenient. But at the same time, you're missing out on, you know, owning the film, going out and purchasing that film, all the special features and commentary tracks and stuff like that come with it. I've always been a sucker for that kind of stuff, you know. But yeah, I don't see LaserDisc, you know, as far as even watching them and stuff like that. I've stopped watching a lot of LaserDiscs that are blockbusters, like we were talking about before. You know, blockbusters I like to watch in the highest possible quality. So it's movies like Indiana Jones or the Alien films, or, you know, Die Hard or something like that. I'd rather watch them in 4K. And then stick to movies like, you know, Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
A strange premonition warns the guests at Castle Dracula that their host is ready to receive them.
Obviously, stuff that, you know, you don't see very often on 4K.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I had to, you know, close the video store eventually, you know, because, I mean, you've seen the show, yeah, it's just, yeah, things weren't, you know, people are streaming, you know, and...
Well, that, and you've got a beautiful little baby now, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing as well, you know.
And talk about priorities, you know, like, it's the greatest thing that can ever happen to a man is having this beautiful little baby to look after in your life.
Yeah, that is true. That's, I had to start taking it seriously, you know, but that's why I decided to get into the collecting side of it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and it's basically what I've been doing for the last 4 or so years now, you know, and I enjoy it. It's really fun connecting with the clients and helping them finding stuff that they've been, you know, dying to get their hands on for years, you know. And when you find that disc that you've got buried in the back of your memory that someone that you know is looking for a copy of Jason and the Argonauts or something like that, and then you come across it, and something just, it goes off in your brain like ding 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 ding, you know, like.
Well, I jumped on your site and I've got a couple there in the cart. I think one of them was Like Water for Chocolate.
I just moved that down in price too, just today.
Oh, it's been reduced.
So you're going to be wrapped finding that in the $5 bargain bin now. Not because it's a bad movie, it is an amazing film.
Yeah, I really like it.
Like water for chocolate. It was a love that was to be denied. A marriage that was to be forbidden.
I've got multiple copies of it though.
Yeah.
And if I've got too many copies of it, then I need to cut down, you know, it uses up too much space. You see how there's lots of gaps now in the collection behind me?
Yeah, and you do have some great bargains on there, like $5, $10, like, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I try to be fair. Yeah, and, you know, with the way that eBay overcharges you and stuff like that, it really sucks being ripped off. And I think it's better having a shop that's being run by another person that loves LaserDiscs as much as the person who's shopping for them, you know?
But no, like really good bargains on there. Like I said, I've got a few in the car. I've just got to check out. I want to go through it because there's a lot on there.
Well, yes, I've got the same thing. I've got about a shelf full of LaserDiscs that I haven't got around to watching yet, you know? Like, I've got a 2-watch pile.
Yeah.
Just about anything James Stewart is always stunning. Have you ever seen Harvey?
No.
That's a good one. That's James Stewart with an invisible magical rabbit.
Okay.
Yep. Or the Philadelphia story is a really good one with him. The FBI story. I'm a sucker for those old movies, you know, just like Bill Collins, you know.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of the old classics, you know.
Yeah, he really sets the scene, Bill Collins, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I just like the way he sets it up. Watch this fantastic picture with Burt Reynolds and Liza Minnelli.
Charles Middleton's most famous role was playing the part of Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon with Buster Crabbe and Gene Rogers. So there you have it. A few interesting people in Pack Up Your Troubles. I hope you enjoy the movie.
And yeah, I'm going to get some eating out. And should be good.
So Chad's delivering, obviously?
Oh, well, Chad is the best at eating out, I heard.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully I get eaten out by him.
He's He's not doing too good at the moment, but he's getting there.
Yeah, I hope so. It was a bit sad seeing him on that other video recently. He didn't look very happy.
Yeah, he's...
All the court cases just building up on him.
Yeah, case of the Colonel, yeah.
To be honest, I thought it was a great slogan.
Well, it was questionable.
Yeah, but you know, aren't they all the best ones are questionable? You know.
Yeah, I mean, the Trout Burger. Like, all right, Charlie. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on the show today. It's been really interesting talking about LaserDiscs and talking all things nostalgia and VHS and all that kind of thing. It's good to have like-minded people on the channel that I can talk to as well. So yeah, I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Yeah, no, thank you very much, James. All right, cheerio.
Yeah.